Hey guys, it is day 18 of 100 on OpenClaw. I'm Mike, and today I just want to answer 10 of the most common questions I usually get about OpenClaw. So I'm going to read them from the screen here. Are AIs going to come to life? Will they be sentient? The answer to that question is it depends on your definition of life and it depends on your definition of sentient. I think language is the thing that commonly around. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Probably. How do I know when to use a skill versus an agent? Depends on your style. And I think if you're being cost conscious, you want to have skills that are shared across many different agents and have just a few agents. If you're focused on value and cost is a secondary consideration, I mean, I don't know, it's always a consideration, right? But if it's less important or you have a larger budget, then yeah, agents for skills, agents with the specific skills that they need. And there's a lot of videos about this. What do I need to run an LLM with OpenClaw locally? You need at least, if you want to get somewhat quick responses, you need at least 64 gigs of RAM. If you have 24 gigs of RAM like I do on this computer, then you can still run things like Gemma 3 and they work pretty good. But for every 2-second response you can get from DeepSeek running in the cloud, it'll take you 2 to 4 minutes for that to run on like an M4 MacBook Pro. What are the best use cases for companies using OpenClaw? Well, we're still figuring that out. From my experience, the best thing that I've seen is probably briefs, helping keep your human workers on track and monitoring and enhancing the productivity of humans. I think that is the number one thing that can come out of OpenClaw for companies. What should I give OpenClaw access to? People are often concerned about security. I think using a platform like Zapier and their MCP servers to manage all your credentials is safer than having the credentials stored for all of your Gmail and everything in your OpenClaw instance. It can leak a lot of stuff and through injection attacks on the web. So I would recommend that. But what should you really give it access to? I would say start small and build trust, see how it works. And then as you get more comfortable, go from there. Next, and then how do I make OpenClaw secure? How do you make anything secure? Anticipate all of the threats. Research as much as you can about the threats. Think of your own threats, write them all down, work with AI to figure out how to minimize your exposure to those threats. But like just a quick answer, what can you do to keep it secure? Back to my last question. It's all about what you give it access to and how you store those keys. So be smart about that. What have been your worst experiences with OpenClaw? I haven't had really bad experiences yet, like some people have had. I know some people's OpenClaw blows up all the time. I guess the worst experience that I've had is configuring it from the beginning. When you start with an OpenClaw that doesn't know anything, getting it set up with the knowledge base that it needs and getting all the skills imported and coordinating, like starting it is the hardest thing to get it to work. But then once it's moving and working, it's a dream. It's a dream. How much does it cost to get OpenClaw set up? How much does it cost to build a house? It depends on your OpenClaw. Are you going to have hundreds of skills, hundreds of agents, and do you have a knowledge base that is millions of pages? And do you have hundreds of employees? Are you an individual solo entrepreneur? All of that plays into it. So how much it costs depends on your size and what you want to do. That's the kind of response I hate seeing people get, so let me try to give a good one. It costs whatever the price of a specialist is. Find a specialist, work with them, and that cost is the cost. I would say pay the market price for wherever you are to have someone do the best they can. You can go on Upwork and get it for cheaper, and it just depends on how you are at management and knowing what you want. Knowing what you want is often going to get you to a much cheaper place, is where kind of everyone seems to want to go. But if you want a number, I don't know, USD, $5,000. But you can do it for free. You can do it for free. You just take a lot of risks. It's like you could represent yourself in court. You might win, and it's free. How can I control costs for tokens? How much should we expect to spend? Well, I have another video about that, and you can spend nothing if you want. Link in the description. As you expand and go past those $100 of free tokens that I mentioned, or if you're not running locally and don't want to invest in the hardware, then I would say using the Akash network or other distributed cloud platforms, you can run your own DeepSeek or Kimi or Gwyn or whatever open source model you want to run that works for you. And you can run those. You shouldn't use it like pay per usage at that point. You can fix your costs to a few $100s per month running your own LLM in the cloud, and then you have a fixed cost. And then what model do you use, I guess me, and why? Well, I use, okay, politics aside, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack, whatever for this, but what works for me and what's most cost effective for me and does the best job within my OpenClaw setups is DeepSeek v3.2. It just figures stuff out. It works like how I want it to work, better than I've tried pretty much all the other models. And I mean, not all, you can't try all, but I'm content with DeepSeek v3.2. So I hope those answers help you guys out there who are either consulting with clients, or you're going to be implementing OpenClaw yourself, or you're trying to introduce it into your company. Do you have other ideas about some of the answers that I gave? Please leave them in the comments. Let me know where you think maybe I got it wrong. I would love to hear from you. And if you need help, just reach out, info in the channel page. I got to get back to work, building organizations and agentic systems. It's been great, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.